Hi everyone. I think uh, level in Delhi is still very very high. That being said, I'm using this Amrutanjan Relief, uh, this cough and cold nasal inhaler, and it's quite good in terms of it clears the blockage. That being said, let's just diss a little bit about the current landscape of the understanding of different sectors in terms of how India can um, be a leader and be a developed country in contrast to whatever the ongoing discussions are happening, because different governments in different era sign different treaties, agreements, MOUs, and this is basically the understanding between the parties at that point of time. What we need to understand now is that we live, or we all living in a very different world order right now. And that being said, when we talk about the world order, one of the brands which is truly global in nature, in terms of which has not only touched the hearts of children, adults, seniors, at the same point of time it is giving employment to different sections of society of people. That being said, what is important here is to understand and accept the fact that this brand has made its name, and we all know the name, that is Starbucks. Although Starbucks originated in a particular country, that doesn't mean that is just like it was branded in a few of the movies, and because of that, the brand became popular. No, the problem statement: any brand, whether you are in the service industry or you are in the trademark classification is 1 to 45. If we have to look into the nice classifications, that's 1 to 45. So in that classification itself, Starbucks is touching almost all the classifications in some way or the other. Tesla recently filed, I'm talking about Elon, and recently filed a few applications in two of the classes. That doesn't mean that, if a particular enterprise doesn't have a trademark in another clause and somebody else files it and say, hey, we filed it, so, we will use it. That doesn't happen, because once anybody is logged in on the online canvas, or I would say the online uh, milky way of the nodes, then it's not a conditional citizenship or jurisdiction in terms of the laws, because although all these intellectual property rights are territorial in nature, but in the online world, everything is one in terms of it's not even null and ein, null or ein or whatever. We all knew from the very beginning in terms of when internet started penetrating, and I mean, I'm not even getting into data sets. So many people have talked about it, uh, whether it is the communication network people or the different sets of enterprises. What is important right now here is to play at the front foot of understanding that India is a talent house. Let's talk about the powerhouse. What is India all about? India is the powerhouse of talent in terms of the hard work. I mean, the kind of hard work and the working hours normal Indians put in, that kind of hard work is not put in by anybody else in the world in terms of whether you go to Malaysia, whether you go to Singapore. But yes, when you go to Malaysia and Singapore, particularly, the working hours start very early. I mean, people are in the offices by 7:30 in the morning, and by noon everything is over. And then it's like by 3ish, 4ish, they're done for the day, and they have an evening life, because that's how protocol was framed at the first instance. uh, However, what we have to appreciate here is India is not a small country in terms of maybe the land is less as compared to anything else in the world when we compare India with China as far as that is concerned. But India is densely populated, and that is why a lot of I mean, a whole section of society of people, or in, I mean, in China for that matter. And that being said, I'd like to just finish this video very fast because I just wanted to emphasize and congratulate Starbucks on their initiative in this time, where they are trying to sensitize people, where they are trying to give a little bit of happiness to the consumer. Because whatever happens in this point of, or if somebody's